OMGs, boys, girls, in-betweeners, how you doing? Red Gambit here, and we are back with another Mix-Up, the show where we talk about fighting game, hot topics, and discussion points. And today, I want to talk to you about the netcode of Street Fighter V and why it's been getting worse. Now, I initially liked the netcode of Street Fighter V. I felt like it was a big step up from Street Fighter 4 when it first came out. I've actually been playing Street Fighter 4 recently, as you've probably seen on the channel, and it has been a wake-up call, I can tell you that. It's just, that was not rollback netcode in that game, if you're not familiar with it. That was actually delay-based netcode, and what that means, basically, is if there is even the slightest whiff of lag on either player's connection, the game just freezes, seizes up, and waits for both players to catch up again. And you can see that in the videos where it stutters or actually physically stops and says waiting for other player. So it was not a good experience, and regardless of what I say about Street Fighter V coming up, it is still better than that, so we can at least be thankful for that. But however, as I mentioned, in recent months, particularly since A's release at the beginning of this year, it feels like this game's netcode has been getting worse. And initially I thought it might just be me. I thought it might just be the fact that because I've been ranking up, I've been going from gold to platinum to super platinum, that those clutch situations, those one single decisions that can turn the tide of an entire match might be more visible because of lag. Maybe that, like, you know, I thought I hit that anti-air, I thought I blocked that cross up, but it turns out I didn't, and now I get to eat half my life bar in damage. I thought that it might just be salt, but in actual fact we now have conclusive proof. Maybe not that it's AE's fault, but certainly that the netcode in this game has got some serious problems. Now I will say this research is thanks to a YouTuber by the name of Digital Halftones. I'm going to use some of his footage in this video, and there will be a link to his channel in the description below if you want to check those videos out for yourself. Now, Digital Halftones produced 2 videos that break down how Street Fighter V handles lag in a crossplay situation, but this can also be applied to single platform matches, so it's important to keep that in mind. Now, you can watch the videos, like I said, there will be links below, but I'm going to break down what he talks about in layman's terms, because I don't think he does the best job of explaining the research that he's conducted. Now, in the first video, there is an example of how netcode is processed basically in any lag situation, where one person has a good connection and the other person has a laggy connection, which is thanks to either just basic Fisher-Price internet or McDonald's Wi-Fi, we don't know, but essentially one person is laggy and one person is not. What is going to happen is it's going to cause the opponent, not the person who's laggy, to be the only person who sees lag. Now, however, this may sound bad, but it's only in the first round of play. Any subsequent rounds in that match will have artificially induced lag on the laggy player's side in an attempt to balance out the experience. So that way, both players are actually experiencing lag. Now, naturally, this is where rollback is experienced, because if the player with artificial lag does something that the game deems didn't happen, then that action is going to be rolled back, and that's where you see it. Now, when you think about it, this is obviously far less than ideal, because it is actually punishing in the first round the player with a good connection by giving them fake lag to try and balance out the connection with the person who has garbage internet or Wi-Fi or whatever. Now, what compounds this problem even further is that due to lag being artificially induced by the game on both sides, when the connection clears up mid-round, so say you were downloading a torrent or there was just something going on in the background, like Steam was downloading an update, we don't know, both games will actually remain laggy artificially until the next round and another rebalance occurs. So essentially, the game refuses to rebalance any kind of lag until basically the round over is your, or rather the game's, key indicator of what the next match's connection should be like, and it sticks with that until the end of the round preceding it. That's lag in terms of network. What about frame drops, frame rate lag? Now, that's also kind of interesting because frame rate drops are a known problem on multiple stages, especially Akuma's Temple of Ascension, as well as being an issue for the PS4 version in general because it does take longer to load than the PC version. Now, where this gets interesting is that the game interprets frame rate drops, which is anything below 60 frames per second if you're not aware, as network lag, which will take you back to the original problem with artificial lag being induced. Now, the only difference with this is that this will cause the opposing player to lag right away instead of waiting for the end of the round. So essentially, if there's any kind of frame rate drop on either player's side, especially on PC, and this could be a problem for mods, I don't know if mods will introduce lag or not, but it will cause another person on the other side, be they PC or PS4, to just instantly lag if that's the case. So what does this all mean, really? To me, these factors combined make for an incredibly frustrating experience when playing this game online, as anything less than a totally stable connection with stable frame rates can cause situations that can skew the game one way or the other. And that goes doubly for a game like Street Fighter V, where one hit, as I mentioned before, can lead to you losing half your life. And what's more, as a Juri player, Juri is a character who's got to work very hard for her damage already. So situations where lag is clearly visible, inputs get delayed, or just get eaten entirely, rollback occurs on a hit confirm, they're so bad, they are just damaging my enjoyment of this game. Now, I'm not going to drop Street Fighter V anytime soon, trust me on that. If you're worried about that, let me set that to rest, I'm not. But it's really damaging my calm, as I mentioned. It's so bad. There are situations last night when I was streaming where I was getting physically angry at the game because I would do things that just didn't happen, which would cost me rounds and cost me points. And that, as a guy who creates content, who creates things for streams and YouTubes, for people who want to see me get better, who want to see me rank up, who see that as a tangible measure of my progress, you know, I don't want to let these people down. And when I do things that I know will win rounds and instead cause me to lose rounds, that's going to cause me to lose my calm. Now, we can hope that Capcom will take steps to correct this in future patches, but it is honestly unlikely since updating the netcode is actually a very big and complicated process, especially rollback netcode, because rollback netcode uses a lot of CPU horsepower. A lot of the actual legwork done by the game when the game is actually running is not done for graphical purposes or AI or anything else. It's actually doing most of that just to handle the netcode and how it's running at any given point. In addition to that, it's also highly likely that a lot of these problems were created when AE was released and some tweaks were performed behind the curtain as part of the update, because there have been a lot of complaints from people, especially people that I know, that this game has not been feeling good in the last few months. And like I said, I thought it was salt, but it's starting to look more and more like that is not the case. So what has your experience with Street Fighter been like this year? Do you feel the game has gotten worse lately? Do you feel, as I feel, that this is just getting more and more frustrating as time goes on, or has it always been bad for you? Because I've had people say that as well. They've always said that, you know, Season 1, Season 2, the game's netcode is trash. So I'd be interested to hear from you. Let me know what you think in the comments below, because I will definitely take that on board and I will respond to every person who leaves a thoughtful and not retarded comment. That's it from me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button because it does help me out. And in the meantime, kisses, hugs, belly rubs. We'll see all of you very soon.